Hey guys, it's Dinohunter here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about poison dart frogs. First, what are they? Poison dart frogs are in the family Dendrobatidae. Despite the name, some of these frogs don't have any poison at all. They are generally small, with most members of this family growing to be less than 1.5 centimeters, that's 0.59 inches, in length. These frogs are also very light. They weigh 28 grams, that's 1 ounce, on average. There are over 175 species of poison dart frogs. Next, let's talk about their coloration. Poison dart frogs have an aposematic coloration. This means that they use their bright colors to warn predators of their poison. They come in many colors, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and more, which if you notice is the color scheme I chose for the background of this video. Yeah, it's not only the rainbow, it's also the different colors of poison dart frogs. These colors usually differ in different species of poison dart frogs, but it is possible for frogs of the same species to have different colors. Next, their habitat. These frogs like a lot of humidity in the air. They mostly live in forests, but they can also live on rocky areas, grasslands, and mountains. Like most frogs, they need to live near a water source. This can be rivers, marshes, lakes, or swamps. Many dart frogs live on the ground, but they have been known to be in trees. Next, their distribution. Poison dart frogs live in Central and South America in countries like Brazil, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Colombia, Ecuador, Suriname, Peru, Panama, Guyana, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. They are also invasive in Hawaii. Rainforests have the perfect conditions for these animals, which, if you noticed, most of these countries do have some sort of rainforest. And in the bottom left there, you can see the distribution map. Next is their habits. These frogs like to lay their eggs in places that are moist. Both male and female poison dart frogs have been known to drive other frogs out of their territory aggressively. Tadpoles also exhibit aggressive behavior, but they do it towards insects. Poison dart frogs sometimes deposit their eggs in plants with pools of water in their leaves. Next, let's talk about the poison. Poison dart frogs get their poison from toxic insects that they eat. The poison is then secreted from glands. The most toxic species of poison dart frog is the golden poison dart frog. This frog is one of the most poisonous animals on the planet. They pack 1 milligram, that's 3 ounces of poison on average, and that is enough to kill 10 to 20 people. And in the bottom right there, you can see a golden poison dart frog. Next, let's talk about their use in medicine. The poison of some dart frogs is used to make painkillers. Some painkillers are ridiculously strong, with one being 200 times stronger than morphine, although this would probably kill anyone who takes a dose. Scientists are also seeing that the poison may help with muscle relaxation, heart stimulation, and suppressing people's appetites. Next is their predators. Some snakes, like the fire-bellied snake, which you can see in the top right, hunt the poison dart frog because they have an immunity to the poison. Apart from that, there really aren't any natural predators for this frog. Most animals don't mess with this frog as they know about the poison. Any animal that doesn't know about the toxin will definitely find out. Yeah, you can say that for sure. Next is their prey. Although the poison dart frog is capable of taking down many huge animals with its poison, it wouldn't be able to eat them, so its diet consists mainly of small insects. This includes fruit flies, ants, termites, crickets, and beetles. Although the beetle that I have there definitely is not going to get eaten by a poison dart frog, I can just tell you that for sure. Next, let's talk about their role in the ecosystem. Poison dart frogs are vital to the ecosystem. By eating the insects, they help control the populations. This in turn makes sure that the insects don't decimate the local plant life, and these plants then serve as a food source for many other animals, like mammals, and as a home for animals like birds, monkeys, and other frogs. Next, let's talk about them in captivity. When taken out of the wild, these frogs don't get fed the same insects that they do in the wild. Because of this, the frogs lose their poison. Since these frogs are so small, without their poison, they make great pets for many people. The bright colors combined with the fact that you can keep many of these colorful frogs together means that they will look amazing in an enclosure. And below you can see an unbelievable enclosure. I mean, imagine a bunch of green, red, and yellow frogs jumping around in that. Yeah, that would be a great thing to have. Next, let's talk about habitat loss, which is quite sad. The leading threat to poison dart frogs is habitat loss, like is the case for most animals. This has driven many species of these frogs onto the threatened list. This means that they are either endangered, critically endangered, vulnerable, if not extinct. Deforestation is the main cause of habitat loss for these animals. People illegally cutting down trees or using forest land for farming is the reason for this. Now let's talk about how not to get poisoned. If you are not an expert, if you see any frog in the wild, especially a brightly colored one, do not touch it. If you touch it, which why are you touching it? First thing, do not touch your face or eat before you wash your hands. Even if you wash your hands, there is still a very small chance that the poison will still be on them. So the best way to not get poisoned is to not touch a wild one. It will be infinitely better to touch a captive one, although this still might not be a good idea. If you don't get poisoned, the chemicals on your hand might absorb into the frog skin and harm it. Or you might still get poisoned because the people feeding the ones in captivity feed them the same insects that they eat in the wild. So, in short, just please don't touch them. Not a good idea. Even though these frogs have a deadly poison, it is important to remember that they are not out to get you. As long as you leave them alone, you will be fine. Please don't be scared of these frogs. They are wonderful animals, and the ones that most people see will be in captivity, without their poison. This is a truly amazing animal that we should admire, but we should also respect their wild counterparts for their incredible poison. The poison dart frog is really just an awesome animal. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed and I hope that you learned something. And I also hope that you enjoyed looking at the many cute pictures because while I was reading, I also looked at them and they made me very happy. So yeah, with that, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!